All right, let's talk crypto. You know, we spend so much time figuring out what to invest in, but how you actually secure your digital assets, that's just as important, maybe even more so. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most critical decisions you'll ever make. Who is actually holding the keys to your crypto?
And believe me, the stakes are incredibly high. We're not talking about some abstract what-if scenario here. Just look at the FTX collapse. That's a staggering $8.9 billion gone, just vanished. And why? Because thousands and thousands of people trusted the exchange to hold their crypto for them. That one event is a brutal reminder of what can happen when the place you think is safe just isn't.
I'm sure you've heard this phrase, right? Not your keys, not your coins. It gets thrown around all the time, kind of like the #1 rule of crypto. But let's be real. What does that actually mean? What are these keys? And how do you hold them? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. Okay, so to really get a grip on that golden rule, we need to start with the absolute basics, the very foundation of how you own crypto. Trust me, understanding this is everything if you want to be in control of your own digital wealth.
So it all boils down to this one thing, the private key. The easiest way to think about it, it is literally the key to your digital safe. It's the super secret code. And here's the critical part. Whoever has that code has total and absolute control over the crypto. It's the master key, the ultimate access pass. No questions asked.
And here's kinda how the magic works. Your private key, that's the only part you have to keep secret. It uses some pretty cool math to generate your public key, which then creates your public address. Now that address is what you can share with people so they can send you crypto. But the most important thing to get is that this is a one-way street. You can go from private key to public address, no problem. But you can never go backward. You can't figure out the private key from the public address. And that's the whole genius of it. And it's why protecting that private key is, well, it's everything.
So why does this matter so much in the real world? Well, it's a huge deal legally. When you hold your own keys, that crypto is considered your property. Think about that. If an exchange holding your funds goes bankrupt, you're basically just another person in a long line of creditors hoping to get a tiny fraction of your money back. But if you hold the keys, those assets are yours. They can't be touched in the bankruptcy proceedings. It is the fundamental difference between being an owner and just being someone they owe money to.
Okay, so this whole key situation basically splits the crypto world into two main camps. Two different universes, really. You've got custodial wallets, where someone else is in charge of your keys, and non-custodial wallets, where you and only you are in control.
And this breakdown really shows you the trade-offs. Let's look at custodial wallets first. These are usually the ones you get on an exchange. The big selling point? Convenience. It's easy. If you lose your password, they've got your back. But that convenience has a price, and it's a big one. You're putting all your trust in them, trusting they won't get hacked, trusting they won't go belly up, trusting they won't just decide to freeze your account. Now, on the flip side, you have non-custodial wallets. Here, you have total control, absolute power. No one can ever touch your funds without your permission. But with that great power comes great responsibility, right? If you lose your keys, that's it. There is no customer service to call. Your funds are just gone, forever.
And you can see why custodial services are so appealing, right? Their marketing was brilliant. They sold this dream of a new financial system. You had companies like Celsius with slogans like "Unbank yourself" or Voyager telling you to beat your bank. They made it look so easy, so user-friendly, and they were offering these incredible returns. It was really hard for people to resist.
But here's the catch, the part that's so easy to forget. The moment you hand over your keys, you're not just using their service, you're taking on all of their problems. It's something called counterparty risk. Suddenly, their shoddy security, their risky business bets, their legal issues, they're not just their problems anymore, they're your problems.
And then came 2022, and that risk stopped being theoretical and became a nightmare. You can see it right here. It was like watching dominoes fall, one after another. Celsius in June, Voyager in July, FTX in November, then BlockFi just days later. These were massive, trusted platforms. And overnight, they just slammed the doors shut, freezing withdrawals. People literally woke up one morning and couldn't access their own money. And the craziest part, for most of these, it wasn't some super complex hack. It was the very model of trusting someone else with your keys that completely fell apart.
All right, I know that all sounds pretty scary, and it is, but here's the good news. You are not powerless here. Not at all. You can absolutely take steps to protect yourself. So let's switch gears and talk about what you can actually do, what a solid security plan looks like.
Okay, so let's say you decide to use a custodial wallet for trading or just for convenience.
That's fine, but you have got to be smart about it. First things first, two-factor authentication, or 2FA. And I mean the strong kind, like an authenticator app, not just a text message. Second, use a feature called address whitelisting. It's a lifesaver. It basically means you pre-approve addresses where you can send your crypto. If a hacker tries to send it somewhere new, there's a waiting period, maybe 24 hours, which gives you time to shut it down. And maybe the most important rule of all, don't treat an exchange like a savings account. It's for trading. It is not for storing your life savings. Don't put all your eggs in that one basket.
All right, now what if you go the other way, the non-custodial route? Well, congratulations, you are now the bank. And the absolute best way to do this, the gold standard, is with a hardware wallet. It's a little device that keeps your private keys completely offline, totally safe from hackers on the internet. When you set one up, it gives you what's called a seed phrase, usually 12 or 24 random words. You need to understand this. That seed phrase is your money. It's the master key to everything. So you write it down on paper or something even more durable, and you store it somewhere safe, or even better, in a couple of safe places. And I cannot stress this enough. Never, ever, ever type that phrase into a website or any software on your computer, period. You have to treat it like it's the one and only key to a vault with all your money in it, because that's exactly what it is.
So, at the end of the day, what's the right move? Well, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It's really about you. It's about understanding these risks we've talked about and figuring out where you land on that spectrum between control and convenience.
And really, it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing choice. In fact, a lot of experienced crypto users do both. They run a hybrid strategy. They might keep a smaller amount, their trading stack, on a trusted exchange for quick access. But the rest of it, the long-term holdings, that gets locked away safely in a non-custodial hardware wallet. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You get the convenience when you need it and the rock-solid security that you deserve.
So I want to leave you with this question to think about. It's not about which wallet is the best one. The real question is, what is the right balance of convenience and control for your crypto journey, for your peace of mind? Figuring that out for yourself is probably the single most important step you can take to make sure you're safe and in control of your own financial future in this wild, amazing new digital world. Thanks for tuning in.